So this is the end of day 3 with our Pavlik Harness. So today was the first day we actually went out, so I had to negotiate changing Max's nappy somewhere else other than home, which was a little bit tricky as it just seems to take quite a little bit longer. What I've actually found is sizing up in the nappies is much easier as you get a lot more stretch, as trying to tuck it under the harness and then round is quite difficult with like a normal size nappy. So he was size 2, borderline coming to the end of that size, but I have now up to a size 3, and that just seems to make it so much easier. I'm not pulling so much on him as you've got to lift them up from the bum, whereas usually when you do a nappy change you sort of pull up the legs, which you obviously can't do now. So yeah, sizing up in the nappy I found has worked, and putting him in the car seat, because we've had to take the newborn attachment out the car seat because it was too narrow. I've put a folded up blanket in the base just to lift his bum up, so his neck and head are sort of in the optimal position, because he's still quite small. So without the newborn attachment in, he sort of doesn't sit properly in the seat. I did find out though that Maxi Cozy rent out specially adapted car seats for children with hip dysplasia or those sort of conditions. I think there's quite a long waiting list for that, so I need to do a little bit more research to find out what the qualifying criteria is for that, should we sort of need it. One of the problems, I think yesterday I was saying that we put a vest on Max under the harness. Well, one of the problems I found is we had a little bit of a wee leak today. So, you know, I was trying to quickly sponge it out because I didn't want to have to take all of the vest off again, which was a bit of a pain. But we're going to do a sponge bath and vest change tomorrow anyway. So that should just do for tonight. Another issue we encountered is up until now, Max has slept in the sleepy head. I know that's not ideal for sleep generally, but we were having issues with his sleep anyway. So the sleepy head was what he slept quite well in. But now I realise that the sides of the sleepy head keep his thighs quite elevated. So last night we tried to sleep him without the sleepy head, which didn't work very well, so we decided just to take out the inner tube of it, just so he still had his familiar smell and comfort, but he really didn't sleep very well at all. So what I've done tonight is rolled up half a towel, well, a towel, so it fills up half that chamber that the inner tube for the sleepy head would go in. And I know it's not ideal, it's not perfect, but if he sleeps better tonight, what I will do is I'll cut the tube of the sleepy head so it's smaller, so the bubble bit only surrounds like his head and arms, and then his legs can basically flop out to the side. If that works, I'll put up a little clip of that tomorrow just as an idea, and also I'll put up a clip of what we've done with the car seat, because that was mad. I really didn't know how we would sort out the car seat situation. So yeah, I'll get some clips of that and pop them up. I was thinking that it might be interesting to people just to know what's happened with our eldest son, because he has hypermobility, which, looking at Freddie, Max's, baby Max, his note from the hospital, they actually noted that Freddie, his brother, had hypermobility. So I think DDH is related to hypermobility, but Freddie never needed a harness or anything like that. But Max was breech through my pregnancy right up until the end. And I think potentially having loose hips, loose joints generally, and then being breech led to the issues with the hips he's got now. So I might just give a little bit more information about what we've done with Freddie's hypermobility and how that might be related to DDH, because now I'm thinking Max will potentially have mobility issues or delayed most gross motor skills. God, you can tell I'm tired. Gross motor skills. Anyway, just because of spending so much time in the harness. So I'll have a look at doing that. But aside from that, just still learning. Like, I'm constantly looking online now for new stuff. And so many people, I think I said yesterday, so many people in the Facebook groups are so helpful. I've been blown away by everyone just wanting to share their tips. I found we were literally just sent away with a double-sided paper pamphlet on how to look after our baby, who is essentially can't do anything with. Like, he can't bath, we have to hold him differently, it's really hard to feed him, we can't dress him. You know, like, the hospital really didn't give us that much support. I think it's probably just because they see it all day, every day. One thing they did do is, in the hospital, there was another lady whose daughter was just being fitted in a harness as well. And just when we were leaving, they said, oh, look, do you want to chat to each other? So we sort of scooted off into a little room and exchanged numbers. So I feel like I've got someone to share this part of the journey with. But yeah, no one really explained anything, and that's why I reached out firstly to like my local Facebook pages, and then they referred me to a specialist page that was set up, like a charity page for DDH. And everything I'm doing now, I've picked up from people in that group, which has been amazing. So that's what I want to do. Everything I learn, I want to share, just because like I found it so hard to get any information, like real life information. Like, it's so easy to just read, you know, things online on web pages, but I want to be able to see what people are doing so I can try and do it myself. So I'm just going to try and share that stuff as well. But yeah, we'll see how we go. It's Monday tomorrow, and I'm actually going on holiday on Saturday next week, which is going to be a challenge in itself. I didn't even consider going on holiday and, like, you know, not being able to go swimming and all stuff like that with Max, and the heat and stuff. I need to have a think about what we're going to do. So yeah, I'll pop back tomorrow, and hopefully we have a good night's sleep with the adapted sleepy head. So we'll see.